Gabriella sat at her desk, the soft hum of her computer filling the quiet room. She had been working for days on her presentation. It was a big one that would prove her worth to her boss and colleagues. She had stayed late, fine-tuning every detail. This was her chance to shine. But when she opened the file the next morning, her heart stopped. The presentation was gone, completely wiped out. Her mind raced as she clicked frantically through the folders. No trace. Could it be a mistake, she wondered, trying to calm herself. She called a tea, but they couldn't find any evidence of a glitch. It was as though the presentation had never existed. Her colleagues began to gather in the conference room. Gabriella tried to explain, but the room was already buzzing with murmurs. Gabriella must have been careless, one of them whispered. Another said, she always claims to be so organized. Looks like she failed this time. No one believed her. No one even asked how it happened or why. They simply accused her of being irresponsible. Her heart sank when the HR department called her in. She was told the presentation's failure reflected badly on the company. Without giving her a chance to explain, they moved her to a different branch. Worse still, they demoted her to a lower rank, stripping her of the responsibilities she'd worked so hard for. Gabriella felt like the world was crumbling around her. How could this happen? Why did her colleagues hate her so much? At home, Gabriella sat on the couch, the weight of the news pressing on her chest. Her elder sister, Linda, watched her with concern. You should quit, Gabriella. They'll never treat you right. It's a toxic environment. No matter how hard you try, they will always find a way to tear you down. You deserve better. Gabriella stared at the floor, conflicted. Her sister's words made sense, but deep down she couldn't bring herself to walk away. She had worked so hard to get here. Giving up now felt like letting the people who had wronged her win. I can't leave, Gabriella replied quietly. I've worked too hard for this. If I quit, they'll think they were right. I need to stay and prove them wrong. I have to keep going. But Linda shook her head. You don't have to prove anything to them. It's not worth the pain. Gabriella didn't answer. The next day she returned to her new branch, a place filled with unfamiliar faces and the sting of failure. But she kept her head down and worked tirelessly. Every day was a battle to keep her dignity intact. She didn't speak much to anyone. Instead, she focused on doing the best work she could. Slowly, the tasks that had once seemed impossible began to feel manageable. And with each small victory, Gabriella found a flicker of hope. She had nothing to prove to anyone but herself. Months passed, and the dark cloud of suspicion still loomed over Gabriella. Then out of nowhere, she received an unexpected call. It was her boss, Mr. Kwaku, asking her to come to his office immediately. When she entered, he was sitting behind his desk, his face unreadable. Gabriella, I've just completed an investigation into the situation that led to your transfer. After reviewing all the facts, I found something disturbing. Her heart raced. Was this the moment she would finally be cleared? I've discovered that you were not responsible for the missing presentation. Someone else sabotaged your work. Mr. Kwaku's voice was steady but tinged with regret. I'm sorry it took this long to find out the truth. Gabriella's mind reeled. Sabotaged. Her colleagues had lied about her all along. As Mr. Kwaku continued, Gabriella tried to process the revelation. The investigation had uncovered that several of her colleagues, people she had trusted, had conspired to erase her presentation, hoping to make her look incompetent. Gabriella, Mr. Kwaku said, I'm reinstating you to your former position, effective immediately, and to make up for the injustice, we're offering you a compensation package, along with a promotion, a new house, and a car. Your salary will nearly triple. You've earned it. Gabriella was speechless. The injustice she'd endured was finally being righted, but the satisfaction of being proven right was tempered by the pain of what she had lost. The trust she had in her colleagues was shattered, and her heart ached as she thought of how they had betrayed her. Gabriella stood in her new office, overlooking the city from a corner window. She had everything now: status, wealth, and power. Her former colleagues were the ones who had conspired against her, and now she was their superior. They would have to report to her, and they would see her success firsthand. But as the days passed, Gabriella felt an unexpected weight in her heart. Her former tormentors, once friends, once trusted coworkers, came to her. One by one, they apologized, their faces full of regret and shame. "We were jealous of you," one confessed, avoiding her gaze. "We were insecure. We didn't know how to handle your success, and we thought if we brought you down, we'd feel better about ourselves. We were wrong, Gabriella. Please forgive us." Another added, "I never meant for it to go this far. I was just following the crowd." Gabriella listened quietly, their words echoing in her mind. She had known they were jealous, but hearing their confessions stung. These were the people she had once called friends. How could they have done something so cruel? For a moment, she felt the fire of anger rise in her chest. She could punish them, fire them, make them pay for what they had done. She had the power to destroy their careers. But then, as if a wave of peace washed over her, Gabriella took a deep breath. She had endured so much, too much to let bitterness take root in her heart now. "I forgive you," she said softly, "but I want you to remember this. It's not my success that matters. It's how you treat others that truly counts." Her forgiveness wasn't for them, it was for herself. She had learned that holding on to anger would only poison her spirit, and though she was forever changed by what had happened, Gabriella chose peace over revenge. Gabriella's forgiveness shocked her former colleagues. They had expected retaliation, or at least indifference. Instead, they were met with her calm yet piercing words. But forgiving them did not mean forgetting. Deep down, Gabriella struggled to reconcile her newfound authority with the scars of betrayal that lingered in her heart. One evening, as Gabriella was packing her things to leave the office, she noticed an envelope on her desk. It had no name, only the word "sorry" scrawled in shaky handwriting. She hesitated before opening it. Inside was a note. "We can never undo the harm we caused you, but we hope to atone. Meet us in the conference room tomorrow after work. Please give us a chance to explain." Her chest tightened. She wasn't sure if she wanted to hear more, but curiosity tugged at her, and the next day she stayed late. As she entered the conference room, the air was heavy with tension. All 5 of her former colleagues stood there, fidgeting nervously. "Thank you for coming," one began, her voice trembling. It was Sandra, who had once been Gabriella's closest friend in the office. "We didn't just betray you, we betrayed ourselves." Sandra took a deep breath and continued, "The truth is, we envied your dedication, your confidence, and the way everyone admired you. You made us feel small." Another colleague, James, stepped forward. "We thought if we could push you out, we'd get ahead. But instead, we lost everything. Our integrity, our peace of mind, and even our respect for ourselves." Gabriella listened silently, her face unreadable. Their words sounded sincere, but could she truly believe them? Was this another attempt to manipulate her? Then Sandra handed Gabriella a file. "This is the evidence we tried to destroy. We thought it was gone, but I kept a backup, just in case. It proves what we did to you. If you want to report us or fire us, we won't fight back. We deserve whatever you decide." Gabriella opened the file. Inside were damning emails, messages, and documents detailing how they had plotted against her. She felt her hands tremble as the memories of those dark days came flooding back. For a long moment, she said nothing. The room was silent, the air thick with anticipation. Then Gabriella closed the file and looked at them. "I don't need this," she said, placing the file on the table. "You've already admitted the truth. I forgave you because I refuse to let your actions define who I am. But forgiveness doesn't erase what happened." Sandra's eyes filled with tears. "We're so sorry, Gabriella. We just want to make it right." Gabriella's gaze softened, but her tone remained firm. "Making it right means more than saying sorry. It means changing who you are, not just to me, but to everyone you work with. If you truly want to atone, show me, not with words, but with actions." Her words lingered in the room, and as she turned to leave, she added, "Don't forget, trust is earned, not given." Months passed, and Gabriella's leadership brought significant changes to the company. Her former colleagues worked tirelessly to rebuild their reputations, and while their relationship with Gabriella remained professional, they often sought her guidance. True to her word, Gabriella watched their actions carefully, granting her trust only when she saw genuine transformation. Gabriella, meanwhile, flourished in her new role. The house, the car, and the promotion were symbols of her resilience. But her greatest victory was reclaiming her confidence. She had learned to navigate the complexities of human nature with wisdom and grace. As she drove home one evening, Gabriella reflected on her journey. The scars of betrayal remained, but they no longer defined her. Instead, they served as a reminder of her strength and the power of forgiveness, not as a gift to others, but as a path to her own freedom. And so, Gabriella's story became one of triumph, not just over adversity, but over the darkness within herself. She had chosen light even when the shadows loomed large. Dear viewers, what lessons did you take away from this dramatic tales? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed the story, give us a thumbs up, share it with friends, and hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss out on our latest update. Thanks for watching and stay blessed.